this video, I'm going to introduce the terms related to the mathematical operations in German and in English. Los geht's. First, I start with addition and subtraction. In German, Addition und Subtraktion. Here you can see a general term for an addition. In German, one says, die Summe von A und B ist C. A plus B ist C. A plus B gleich C. In English, the sum of A and B is C. A plus B is C. A plus B equals C. Here is a term for subtraction. In German, one says A weniger B ist C. A minus B ist C. A minus B gleich C. Oder die Differenz von A und B ist C. And in English, one says A less B is C. A minus B is C. A minus B equals C. Or the difference between A and B is C. The next slide deals with multiplication and division, or in German, Multiplikation und Division. Here you can see a typical form of a multiplication. One says in German, A mal B is C. In English, A times B is C. Or in German, A multipliziert mit B ist gleich C. And in English, A multiplied by B equals C. For a division, one says in German, A geteilt durch B ist C. Where geteilt is optional. And in English, A divided by B is C, with divided being optional. Next slide is about the roots. Here you can see an example for the roots. In German, one says die alte Wurzel aus B ist gleich C. In English, the eighth root of B equals C. Here you can see the root sign. In German, one says Wurzelzeichen. A in the above term is Wurzel exponent. In English, one says root exponent. B is in German Radikand and in English radicand. C in the above term is Wurzelwert and in English root value. Here you can see more examples about the roots and powers. One reads this term as Quadratwurzel von A in German and a square root of A in English. Also, this term is cubic Wurzel in German and cube root in English. Vierte Wurzel in German, fourth root in English. And in a general form, nth Wurzel ziehen, and in English, Wens root. Also for the term A quadrat in German and A squared in English. And in the general form, we have hochrechnen, and in English, x to the power of n. A slide, you are going to learn about the integral calculus. Here you can see a typical form of an integral. In German, one says bestimmtes Integral von f über dem Interval a, b. In English, definite integral of f over interval a, b. In the above term, die Funktion f is integrierbar über a, b. And in English, The function f is integrable over a, b. A ist untere Integrationsgrenze, in English, lower limit of integration. B ist obere Integrationsgrenze, in English, b is upper limit of integration. A, B in German, Integrationsinterval, in English, integration interval. F, integrand in German, and in English, integrand. X, Integrationsvariable in German, and in English, integration variable. Here you can see the words related to the prime typography or prime topography in German. This sign is Strich, Prim oder Prime in German. Dealing with the time, one says also Minutenzeichen, in English, prime or minute when dealing with the time. This sign is Zweistrich oder Doppelprime, Sol, Sekundenzeichen, in English, double prime. Sol is inch in English. Sekundenzeichen, dealing with time, second. The next sign is Dreistrich or Linienzeichen in German, triple prime in English. This one, Vierstrich, Punktzeichen or quadruple prime in English. Also, this term can be read in German F' von x and in English F triple prime of x. This slide deals with the derivation, or in German, die Ableitung. Here you can see a typical form of the derivation. One reads in German d über dx von fx. In English, d over dx of fx. One can say f is differentiable, or in English, f is differentiable. The other term in German, die partielle Ableitung von f nach x, and in English, the partial derivative of f with respect to x. And this term in German, gradient von f, and in English, gradient of f. Here you can see the other terms. One can read this in German, Ableitung von f im Punkt x nullte oder die erste Ableitung. In English, derivation of f at the point x0 or the first derivative. This term in German, die zweite Ableitung. In English, the second derivative. And the last one, die dritte Ableitung, and in English, the third derivative.